Hello, friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks. And today it is the question answer session as it is Sunday. So, there have been a number of questions that have come in. So, I'll answer that and I'll also discuss about the small cap index which is trying to break out. So, let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research. And I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. First, let me talk about the small cap index and why I think there is a breakout. The small cap index has taken out the 13,800 level. That was the pivotal level from where the market really fell. The small and mid cap index really fell, and the small cap index went to around 12,000 levels by the second half of last year, and it has made a lot of bottoms around those 12,000 to 12,500 range, and now it is trying to break out of those levels. We could easily see 15,000, 15,200 on the small cap index in the coming few months, and I would not be surprised if the next 1.5 years would be of the small and mid cap shares, and people will take out money from the Nifty stocks, as the Nifty has run up tremendously, and at 12,400 level, 12,300 level, it is trading even at 28 times of FY20 earnings. So you have to take that into consideration. Apart from that, a number of small and mid cap stocks are making new 52-week highs. These are not, say, 3-year high or lifetime highs, but 52-week high. That is a clear indication of a sector or an index that is coming out of troubled times. Because if you look at what the small cap index did a year and a half back, say in midway through 2018 till the end of 2018, at that point of time there were a number of stocks making 52-week lows, and that was a time of the bearish scenario in the small cap index. Now the bottoming out process is about to complete, and probably once the market takes out 14,100 200 levels with conviction, we could see a big rally in the small and mid cap shares. I have a feeling, and this is all my gut feeling, and probably you can take your own decision and consult your financial advisor, but I have a feeling from budget onwards, probably from March onwards, we'll see a real surge in the small and mid cap shares, purely because the large cap would have run up so much that people would like to park their money into other sectors, and they would look at small and mid cap companies that they were not looking at for the last couple of years. So we could see a massive up move this year as well as next year. But what do you need to do? You need not go ahead and buy the penny stocks. You need not go ahead and buy the companies with high debt, high pledge. What you need to do is go ahead and buy into quality mid and small cap companies. Over the last year and a half, I have mentioned about different companies which are very good mid and small cap companies that could do really well over the next 3, 5, 7 years. Go ahead and buy those. You can buy other companies also. Just look at the balance sheet, just look at the debt levels, pledge levels, and the profitability history of the company, and whether it has the moat or not, and go ahead and buy those companies in increments over the next 6, 8 months, and you'll make a lot of money. That's what my understanding is, because I do not see, with a lot of froth in the Nifty shares, for the Nifty to go up to 13,000, 14,000 levels over the next couple of years. Now coming to the questions of viewers. So there have been a lot of appreciation from viewers with regard to my videos on Bajaj Finance, with regard to my videos on multi-bagger picks on in the Christmas period, when I put up that Christmas bonanza video, as well as the New Year video that I put up. I am highly satisfied and really thankful to everyone that you have liked my videos and my analysis, because stocks can go up and down, but if you like my analysis and the way that I choose the stocks, that is very heartening for me. That is very uh, encouraging for me to put up more videos in the coming months and weeks. A question that has come up from Shakti Arora is that he has bought Rain Industries at 307 rupees. What should he do? Uh, See, I have put up many videos on Rain Industry, at least 2 to 3 videos on Rain Industry itself, and a lot of people have been stuck in this company. And when the stock was flying a lot, I had mentioned this very clearly that Rain Industry at the moment is not a buy because of the way it has been moving up, and you need to see a consolidation and a decline to buy into it, apart from very good numbers. But the numbers started to betray the company, and then the investors started to move out of the stock who have bought at lower levels. So I would say that whenever a run up comes in the small cap index over the next 6 months, keep a stop loss from the current levels of around 10-15%. But whenever a run up comes up in rain industry, because everything will move up once the small cap index goes up in coherence. So at that point of time, exit the company, because there will be a lot of headwinds in terms of their business with regard to regulations that have been put up by India and US, etc., on chemicals that they import. So you have to take that into consideration and hence avoid rain industry for the time being. Uh, Now, Pratik Chaparia has asked an interesting question. He wants to know about any other stock which is similar to Bajaj Finance. Well, Pratik, if I would be knowing at the moment, first thing is I would not be telling the viewers, and this is pretty prudent for anyone. And I would buy in bulk over the next couple of months and then tell the viewers. Second thing is I would be very rich in about the next year or so, and I would not be doing what I'm doing at the moment, or I would be doing this, but I would be extremely rich. The point here is, and this is just a light-hearted point I'm making, so don't take it personally, but the point here is nobody knows what could be the next Bajaj Finance or an HDFC Bank. But remember, I have mentioned in many of my videos on financial companies that there have been only two companies over the last 50 years or 30, 40 years of investment that have made multiple returns for investors, or multi-bagger returns, and that is HDFC Bank and Bajaj Finance. Now, to find out another company which is similar to of that vein would be extremely difficult. I would suggest, rather than going for financial companies, you should go for companies with very strong balance sheets and businesses which have cash on their books, even if they are mid caps, large cap, or small cap, it doesn't matter. And just hold that company over a period of time if the numbers are relatively good compared to other companies in that sector. So don't look at Bajaj Finance or a company of that sort. Look at other companies which have good profitability, good return ratios, etc., and get into them. You never know which one would turn out to be a 50-100 bagger over a period of next a decade or so, or even earlier. What is the next entry level for Bajaj Finance? I mentioned that very clearly in the video in which I have told about when to enter Bajaj Finance. I think anything between 3700 to 4000 is a very good level to enter on a short term basis, but wait for major declines, and you could even see 3500 on the stock, 3500 on the stock. So anything below 4000 are very good levels to buy into. Why I'm saying that is their earnings are growing appreciably, so the stock will not fall a lot from these levels. So the next question that have come in is from Jay Krishnan Kapali, and the question is that what is the next entry level for Bajaj Finance? So I've just answered that. The next entry level for Bajaj Finance would be between 3500 to 4000. Bajaj Finserv, Prince Sharma wants a video on Bajaj Finserv. I'll do that soon. I think I put up a video on Bajaj Finserv earlier. I'll just check that, and if I have, I'll put up a link to that. But for me, there's not much of a difference between the two. But I would prefer Bajaj Finance more because they are into pure consumption driven economy, and they are into consumer loans. Bajaj Finserv provides cards just like SBI card does, or which is listed, or other you can say credit card company or card companies which provide very good you could say very good pricing for products, and it is one of the leading cards that are used by consumers. So that's why Bajaj Finserv is doing well, and it is a sister concern of Bajaj Finance. So probably Bajaj Finance is a better company to invest into, but I'll definitely make a video on Bajaj Finserv soon, if I have not made one already. Adani Green and Aditya Birla Capital. So there have been requests for videos on both. Adani Green has been running like anything. I need to look at the fundamentals and everything else. I'm not getting that much of a time, but once I get it, I'll definitely put up a video on both of them. Kindly wait for it. There have been a lot of videos that are in queue, and I'm not able to put up videos every day at the moment because of my work schedule. So kindly bear with that. The next question is about portfolio, and it's from Ujwal Talwar, and he says that you should make a video for beginners. Well, what I would suggest is there have been a lot of stocks that I have recommended in terms of multi-bagger picks. What beginners can do is they need to analyze first of all balance sheet, debt levels, etc., and the strength of a company based on a lot of videos that I mentioned on how to pick the multi-baggers, etc., and then look at the companies that I have already mentioned, because these are very simple businesses that I'm mentioning, which could be very fruitful for even beginners who want to get into the stock markets. A company like Whirlpool, a company like Bata, V-Guard, etc., they are very simple business and very simple P&L accounts. So they are not very complicated compared to a financial company or a capital goods company, in which it will be difficult to know what are the receivables and debt levels, etc. So I believe that yes, on a dedicated level, I have not made a particular per se video on for beginners, but if you look at these companies which I am mentioning and which I am trying to recommend, these are very simple businesses which could be understood by anyone who understands a little bit of numbers and an understanding of profit and loss account of a company. Rajiv asked about views on HUL, Britannia, and Marico. I've already mentioned Britannia in one of the multi-bagger pick. I've already mentioned Marico in a recent January pick, that is the New Year pick. So you would be knowing about it. Absolutely, they are very good companies for the next 10-15 years. The only problem with HUL and Britannia is it has already run up a lot, and these stocks should be bought in desperate circumstances, and in circumstances where there is a lot of hullabaloo about the consumption sector or the company itself. For example, Nestle went to 5,000 during that Maggie crisis. Nestle is at 14,000 at the moment. It has been only 3 to 4 years. It has tripled in 3 years, you could say, like that, or 3 or 4 years. That is a tremendous return, and that's why you need to get into something like HUL on such declines, and a Britannia on such decline. Britannia, when everybody was talking about that nobody's buying 5 rupee biscuit, Britannia was, I think, at 1800, 1850. Now Britannia is back at 4,000 or something of that sort. So these are the companies which you buy in very difficult times, when really the market is going through a tremendous pressure and all, like we had in 2013 or 16, and so on and so forth. Now D Prasanna Saru has asked that what is your view on the chemical sector in future, and is InfoEdge India Limited worth to invest for long term? InfoEdge is a very good company. Naukri.com is one of its brands. There are other brands of InfoEdge. I have always liked InfoEdge but never bought it, never got the valuation to buy it, and has always remained expensive. What you can do is, on any major declines in InfoEdge, you can get into it. So that, but consult your financial advisor and do your own due diligence before buying. But this is my opinion, personal opinion. Second thing is, what is your view on the chemical sector? I think it is going through a consolidation for the moment, but we could see a major breakout soon in the coming few weeks. So if somebody has not got into good chemical companies, and we all know about the top chemical companies here. So get into those, and I won't mention names here because I have not analyzed it deeply into all chemical companies, but get into chemical companies which have good balance sheet, good track record, and a very good business clientele in respect. So and valuations are good. Get into them, but again trade into them, because these are companies similar to how other you can say commodity companies would behave. Now, Harsh Fatnani has asked that VGuard has had a very tepid earnings growth over the last 2 to 3 years. Why is VGuard a multi-bagger? Yes, I agree. It has an EPS of 3 to 4 rupees only and trading at around what 50 times right now, 50-55 times earnings. But I believe that whenever the real estate slump ends and whenever there is more housing, rather than buying the real estate and housing company, I am betting on VGuard to do really well. And the turnaround in numbers could happen anytime, purely because the company was going through a slump because of the economic slump that is taking place here in India. So probably a year and a half, just like auto industry is going through a slump, VGuard itself is. And I believe that things would turn around soon, and this is a very strong company. It doesn't fall much. 200 to 180 is the maximum that it falls. I've seen that. So it is a safe company to bet at, and the numbers have been not great, but they have not been bad in difficult times, and that's why I've suggested VGuard. Suggest stocks in mid-cap IT is what Nikhil Engineer is asking. I have to analyze the IT sector altogether because I've not analyzed it that much apart from few companies. So once I do that, I'll surely suggest those for you. So this was my video on the question and answer session for this Sunday. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you can get my videos straight away when I post it. Thanks a lot for watching.